A couple of months ago, I received some questions about how to disable Steam input in the Steam Deck without using an external controller. I found videos and tutorials from the internet, but they connected a controller to disable the Steam input from the Steam UI. This option is hidden in the UI if no external controller is connected. If, like me, you do not have an external controller, then I will show you how to disable the Steam input manually and automatically. Let's dive in.
Can't stay to talk, Spiderman.
Before we proceed, since we will be dealing with Steam configurations, I am not liable for any damages that the steps or application might cause. If you proceed to follow the steps or use the application, then this means that you know and accept the risks. First, a little background. Why do we want to disable the Steam input? You see, some games, especially the games added as a non-Steam game, has a tendency to not detect the built-in Steam Deck controls. One example of this would be the Spiderman Remastered released for PC. As shown in this video, keyboard controls will be displayed instead of the actual AXYB buttons. You can, however, map the built-in controls to the appropriate key bindings for the game. But having the keyboard buttons show up during gameplay is very distracting. So, how do we disable it manually? First, we need to go to Desktop mode. Open Steam and go to Library. Then select a game. I will be using Spiderman Remastered for this example. Right-click and choose Properties. Then, look for the Enable Steam Overlay toggle button located here. Set this aside for now and open the File Explorer. Go to Home, Deck, .local, Share, Steam, User Data. I only have one account in my Steam Deck, so only one folder is displayed here. If you have multiple Steam accounts that was previously logged in, then you may see multiple folders here. To see the current account folder, just select Sort By and choose Accessed and Newest first. Select the first folder from the list. Then go to Config and open localconfig.vdf file. Use Kate to open the file and click on this temporarily raise limit prompt to see all the data. Then go to the last part of the file and check for apps keyword. This one. This part holds the configuration data for non-Steam games. Most importantly, this is where Steam input can be disabled or enabled by setting it to either 1 or 0. But right now, it shows 2 entries. This one and this one. We need to know what the game ID for Spiderman Remastered is. To know this, we need to go back to the Properties window of Steam. This Enable Overlay button will have a value of 1 if it is enabled, and 0 if disabled. If we click this button and then take a look at the config file after we reload, we can see that Overlay App Enable is set to 0. If we click it again, after the reload, it will be once again set to 1. This means that this game ID is for the Spiderman Remastered. Before we can proceed and add the Steam input data, we need to close Steam first. This is very important since any data written here before closing Steam will be discarded, so we need to exit it first. After closing Steam, reload the file and paste this block of data inside the curly braces and below the existing data. Double-check and verify if the double quotes are included. See the video description for the data. This block of data disables the Steam input. If you want to enable it back, either delete the block of data or set the uses SteamControllerConfig to 1. Click Save and close the file. It is done. Now, when I open the game in game mode, the game should now be able to detect the built-in controls and display AXYB buttons. Nice.
With style.
Doing it manually is somewhat easy, but using an app is much simpler. I created an app that does all of those previous steps automatically. If you want to use it, then go to this link. See also the video description for the link. This will open my GitHub page. You can read the instructions on how to install it. But for now, let's right-click on the download button and choose Save Link As. If you are using Firefox, remove this .download text and click Save. Once the download has finished, drag the file to the desktop. Double-click it and wait for the install process to finish. Once completed, two desktop shortcuts should be created. One is named Steam Input Disabler and the other is Uninstall Steam Input Disabler. If we open Steam Input Disabler app, all the non-Steam games will be listed here. There is also a filter button at the top right part of the app. You can filter either Lutris, HeroicLuancher, or all non-Steam games. This toggle button sets the Steam input data. This means the Steam input is enabled, while this means it is disabled. For this example, since the Steam input for Spiderman Remastered has been disabled already manually, let's enable it first and see if the keyboard controls will be displayed in-game, then disable it, and check if the built-in controls are detected. Click this toggle button to enable it, and click Save. Now, if we click on Save, it will prompt that Steam is currently running. Just like in the manual steps, we also need to exit Steam first before we can save the new configuration. For that, we would right-click on the Steam icon here and select Exit Steam. Once Steam has been closed successfully, we can now proceed to save our new settings. At this point, the Steam input has been enabled for our chosen game. We can go to Game Mode and test it. Now, we can see that our controls do not work and keyboard controls are displayed in-game. Let's go back to Desktop Mode and disable the Steam input using the app. Let's click this toggle button to disable the Steam input and save. Close Steam first and then save. We can go to Game Mode and test it. Now, when we go back to Game Mode, we can see that the game is once again able to detect and use the built-in controls. So that's it. If this video helped you, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Thank you. See you in the next one.